What's up guys, Foggy Train here. Today I just want to kind of do a video just kind of going over some of the things that's been going on in the video game world lately, and just my thoughts moving towards the end of the year, towards the Game Awards, and kind of my thoughts on who I think has a good chance of winning. First of all, the main big thing I want to talk about was obviously Activision being fully bought by Xbox now. So that's Activision, Blizzard, and King. I know there was a lot of concern about Xbox becoming a monopoly and all this. I don't think it would have gotten approved in all these different countries around the world if it was going to become a monopoly. Do I think it's necessarily a good thing? Not necessarily. I do think that Xbox has the potential to make Activision better than they have been and allow them to actually make games other than Call of Duty. Finally, I'm hoping. That's my hope and dream. Bringing back old IP, obviously. The old Spider-Man games from the original Xbox were so good, and that was by Activision. Spider-Man's being made by Insomniac now on PlayStation. But I just wanted to say my opinion on Activision, Blizzard, Xbox. I'm happy it's finally done, but I can understand some of the concern. But I was never really super worried about it. I do think this puts Xbox in a much better position than they have been in, but at the end of the day, they're still currently technically in last place or third place, whatever you want to call it. It'll be interesting to see, especially with the next generation, around 2028 or so, where they'll be and how this affects the industry. I would also like to point out that I do think that Sony should start acquiring more people, if possible, if they can. I know they don't have the same kind of funding as Microsoft, but whatever. The last thing I wanted to move on to was just the Game of the Year awards and the Game Awards in general at the end of the year. My thoughts: I've played some fantastic games this year. I played, I believe, the first one was Jedi Survivor, then Diablo 4, then Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, Mortal Kombat 1. I plan on playing Spider-Man 2. I would like to play Armored Core 6. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the time to. Street Fighter came out. What else? I know there's more. Super Mario Wonder is going to be coming out pretty soon as well. Tears of the Kingdom, I don't know if I mentioned that. This year is pretty stacked. As for the actual nominees, I mean, these games are all fantastic. They really are. Diablo 4, with all its issues with microtransactions, the story and gameplay were actually very, very, very fun. Jedi Survivor was fantastic despite all its flaws. Pretty much every game was fantastic despite its flaws. Baldur's Gate 3 even had issues, but they were very, very minimal at first, and they patched them out as people were progressing towards the end, pretty much. Starfield has glaring user interface issues, so I think that causes a problem. And then Mortal Kombat 1, I don't know that a fighting game is, and Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter, I don't know that a fighting game is ever going to make it to Game of the Year, just because it's in a niche. Maybe it has before, I don't know. I haven't kept up with all of the Game of the Year awards, but just, if I had to guess, I would think that something else is going to come out on top of it. There's games like Tears of the Kingdom that came out this year, which was massive. Spider-Man 2, the things I'm hearing about Spider-Man 2 are fantastic, and it's apparently sounding like it's going to be a Game of the Year contender as well. Super Mario Wonder, that's competing with another Nintendo game, Tears of the Kingdom. Huge year. If I had to guess what the winner is going to be, I'd have to say Baldur's Gate 3, at least in my mind. For sure, 100% to me. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, to be fair. But 100% for me right now, Baldur's Gate 3 is my Game of the Year, without a doubt in my mind. The amount of stuff that game allows you to do, the freedom you have, the amount of, you can just tell, love and effort put into the game is phenomenal. And I haven't seen something like that in a long, long time, possibly ever, playing games. Next possible option I could see, probably Tears of the Kingdom. If Starfield is nominated, I don't think it's gonna win, just because of how many issues there are with just the user experience in general. And a lot of the games were RPGs, so it's like, best RPG, probably Baldur's Gate also. Best fighting game is probably going to be, I'm assuming, between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I haven't played Street Fighter, I can't speak to that. Y'all might want to check out the page Midway Plays, shout out. Someone I follow on Instagram, we subscribe to each other. He plays a lot of Street Fighter, he's fantastic at it. He could probably give a better a better opinion on the debate between those two games. Shooters, I haven't really played any shooters this year, so I couldn't say anything about that. But as for soundtrack, also, the best soundtrack, it would have to be between Starfield and Baldur's Gate. They both have absolutely phenomenal soundtracks. But I'm still, once again, going to have to pick Baldur's Gate 3 because this is a soundtrack that I literally just for weeks, I would just add only that on shuffle, and I could just listen to that for hours and hours. It's so good. Pretty much all my thoughts on it. I just want to kind of make this video to just talk about my opinions on video games lately and how things are looking towards the end of the year. Let me know what y'all think about everything. If you have any opinions about Activision Blizzard that you're concerned about, or Spider-Man 2, are you excited or not? And who do you think is going to win Game of the Year? Let me know below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.